Hey everybody, welcome to Screen Realm, it's Guillermo here, and today I'm reviewing Violent Night. It's a blood-soaked Christmas action comedy starring Stranger Things actor David Harbour as Santa Claus, and it's directed by Tommy Vercola, hope I said that right, who has plenty of experience with bloody dark comedies, having directed Dead Snow 2, and The Trip, among other films. For me, the idea of seeing Harbour playing an ass-kicking Santa in an ultra-violent, knowingly silly, weirdly sweet kind of Christmas movie sounds like the perfect film to check out during this holiday season, while of course chugging back some highly toxic eggnog. And so the wrapping paper on this one looked mighty enticing. So now that I've opened it, is Violent Night the gift that I was hoping for? I'd say partly. And whether or not you'd be very happy with this gift, I'd say that comes down to just what your expectations are and how high those expectations are. While mine may have been a tad high for what was on offer, I did have fun with this one. It's an amusing and pretty simple plot. Baddies turn up at the house of a rich family, the members of which of course are having a number of issues, in the hopes of robbing what's in their safe. Unfortunately for these home invaders, they're on the naughty list. And wouldn't you know it, at this exact same time, Santa happens to be at the very same house trying to deliver a gift to a little girl who's on his nice list. Now this particular Santa isn't exactly merry, in fact he's a grumpy alcoholic, and having grown cynical with the world over the years, he's just about had it with his Christmas duties. But Santa still has a bit of heart left, so when he stumbles upon this armed robbery that's put this little girl in danger, well, Merry Christmas, ya filthy animals.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
A pulpy action comedy and a family-oriented Christmas movie collide in this very self-aware and fairly entertaining mashup. It really does feel like a hybrid of two clear-cut films, with plenty of tropes on display from two widely different genres. The benefit of having many genre and narrative cliches is that you can subvert expectations of where things are going or how tropes will be handled. Plus, you can have your fair share of wink-wink, nudge-nudge moments with a knowing audience. And while Violent Night does manage to deliver some fun while navigating some very well-trodden roads, they're mostly within moments. And by that I mean a cheesily amusing one-liner here, a gloriously over-the-top kill there. The overall plot and the way this contained story unfolds feels surprisingly simplistic for what could have been. Essentially, I just found that there wasn't much in the way of surprises here. Considering the wild concept that's serving as the playground, I would have imagined that there would have been quite a lot. Instead, Violent Night remains all about formula, whether it be the ingredients of the Die Hard style action flick or that meaning of Christmas style family movie. I should also mention that there are certain fantasy elements, which I won't spoil, but they're pretty small tidbits scattered about the place, and I didn't find that they provided much apart from a laugh or two. And so that puts a good amount of responsibility on the film's bits. The quips and the gags, the action sequences and the kills. And in both areas, it's a mixed sack. Screenwriters Pat Casey and Josh Miller, perhaps best known for writing the Sonic the Hedgehog films, have written in a slew of Christmas-related jokes. Some are amusing and some are firmly from the dad joke department. And they appear to be having the most fun when drawing up their bad guys. There are also some nice nods to past Christmas movies. Home Alone in particular is the inspiration for one of the film's standout sequences, nails and bowling balls. Ouch. The dialogue overall really isn't anything special, but there's a self-aware silliness to it all that makes it sit firmly within the film's confident tone, so I guess it suits. When it comes to the action side of things, I'd say that Violent Night is adequate, but unremarkable. That being said, undemanding genre fiends should get their fix with a few of the giddily brutal sequences here. This one scene with Santa in particular that has him laying waste to everyone with a big ol' hammer is really quite enjoyable for its sheer brutality. The action choreography is pretty standard, although you can actually see maneuvering and who's fighting who, so I suppose that makes it better than many other action films these days. There is some nice creativity to the action when they incorporate everyday objects and especially Christmas ornaments into these fights. I'll also say that in films like this, I want to see some creatively gnarly kills, and on that front, Violent Night delivers. These baddies are oft in a variety of brutal ways that ultimately elevate the action. There was one kill towards the end that really had everyone clapping in my cinema, so that's a standout. It does, however, take a while for this action to really get going. The family dynamic that the script seems determined to focus on simply isn't as engaging as it should be. The rich, bitter matriarch, her irritating daughter, the obnoxious obnoxious grandson. They're just annoying characters that I thought didn't really provide the laughs or were interesting enough to hang out with. I'm not sure how much screen time was spent hanging out with these people, but it just felt like way too much, especially when you just want to see Santa kick some ass. Speaking of Santa, great casting here. David Harbour is fantastic as this Father Christmas you really want having your back. The actor dials into that gruff, tired badass with a heart of gold that he's delivered in certain ways as Jim Hopper in Stranger Things, and of course he's more than convincing as a angry one-man army with some very physical sequences. Importantly, Harbour rides the film's tone perfectly. He goes all in when it calls for it, but he's constantly carrying an almost sly wink as he goes from cold-blooded murder to yelling at his reindeer for poop. And the reliable John Leguizamo is also fun to have as the film's bad guy. I just wish that he had more to do here. He spends way too much time with that damn family. Okay, so Violent Night isn't quite the creative, gut-bustingly hilarious, amazingly choreographed action fest that I thought it had the potential to be, but it is nevertheless a decent time. While it certainly has its shortcomings, I had some laughs, I winced more than a few times at the enjoyable savagery, and hey, it's David freaking Harbour as Santa Claus, and he kicks ass. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars. That's my review, everybody. If you've seen the film, let me know what you thought. Loved it, hated it, meh? Hit up that comment section below, and as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you still haven't, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all things coming from Screen Realm. Catch you soon.